Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here and we've got one of the new MAC Girls palettes to talk about today. This one is called the Classic Cutie palette. Last year MAC released some of these MAC Girls palettes. I have previously reviewed 2 of those from the original release. There are 3 new ones. The other 2 new palettes are called the Queen Supreme and the Risk Taker. I'll pop some pictures up on the screen for you just so you can see what those look like. I'm pretty interested in the Risk Taker palette, so if you would like to see a review on that, leave a comment, let me know, justify my need to buy yet another new eyeshadow palette. This palette is available now. You can find it from MAC. It's also at Ulta and a lot of the other department store retailers where you can find MAC products like Macy's, Nordstrom. All of these palettes retail for $39.50 and they have 8 eyeshadows and then 1 large pan face highlighter. This palette is nice and slim, very travel friendly, easy to store. I appreciate that it fits nicely into my IKEA Alex drawers. It's a heavy duty cardboard and it has a magnetic closure. There is a mirror inside. All of the shadows and highlighters do have names, but they are not printed inside the palette, nor are they printed on the back. The back is just the same cute print that's on the front. The names do come printed on this plastic insert inside the palette. I will promptly lose this, so it's a good thing I'm filming this video now. I just have to say, I think this packaging is so cute. I love the little cupcake cartoon prints. It's very sweet, it's very girly, it's very kawaii. I think it's so adorable. I love it. When it comes to the shades inside here, you're actually not getting any true mattes. There are a few satins and a pearl finish, and the rest are very metallic. Some are more of a glittery metallic, some are more of a foiled metallic. You'll see the differences there when we get to the swatches. I will be showing you both finger and brush swatches on the back of my hand with no primer. For my brush swatches, I'll be using my e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush, and I'll clean off in between each shade using my Vera Monocolor switch. Here's the first round of swatches from the palette. These are the finger swatches and these are the brush swatches below. This first shade is a shimmery pale lavender called Good Karma. The next shade is a metallic taupe called Cuteness. Then we have a deep glittery purple called Maybe So. This is a satin shade. It's kind of a periwinkle meets lavender. This one does perform quite like a matte shade when you use a brush to apply it to the eyes, and it's called Style and Influence. Lastly, another satin. This one has a bit more of a pearly finish. It's called On the Hip Side. These are the remaining swatches from the palette. This very pale pearly satin finish is called Wide-Eyed Wonder, and this is super close to my skin tone, so it's not showing up that great on me, but I'm wearing this on my inner corners and it's really popping on the eyes. Next, a metallic silvery purple called Mad Mod. Then a very glittery grayish purple called In My Jeans. And lastly, this is the face highlighter. It's called Heart Melter. I really feel that for shadows like these, just seeing swatches doesn't really do justice to how dynamic these eyeshadows really are. When you see the swatches, the finger swatches look good, the brush swatches look a lot more sheared out. I'm going to show you a clip of me doing a brush swatch with the shade Mad Mod with a brush that's dampened with Fix Plus. You get this super reflective, really insanely metallic. So when you see the original brush swatches, you might think, those don't really look that great, they don't look that bright. But the thing is, these shadows can be used in different ways. I like to apply with my finger, and that gives a great metallic finish, but when you foil them, they're just really super intense. And then if you just want a sheer wash of sparkly, pale prettiness, then you can use a brush. Now that you've seen the swatches, let's jump into my tutorial using this palette, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. We're dipping into this Classic Cutie palette. I'm gonna start with the face highlighter. The shade is called Heart Melter, and while it looks like a lavendery purple shade in the pan, I think that it looks super wearable on the face. Now I'm gonna prime my eyes. Of course, I'm using my favorite eye base. It's the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. Then I'm just going to set that eye base using my Studio WATERWEIGHT pressed powder to give us a nice smooth surface. Now we're going back into the Classic Cutie palette, and I'm going to start to build up my transition shade. First, I just added a little bit of On the Hip Side. Then I combined On the Hip Side and Style and Influence just to add a little bit more of that pop of purple into the crease. Now I'm starting on my lid shade. First I'm taking Mad Mod and I'm applying that all over my lid using my fingertip. I did build up 2 layers just to get more sparkle out of this shade. Now to add some depth to the outer part of my eye, again using my finger, and I'm just tapping a tiny bit of In My Jeans on the very outer part of my eye, and then where those 2 shades on the lid meet, I'm using Maybe So to blend them together. Now I'm taking a clean, fluffy powder brush and I'm just wiping away any glitter fallout. Now I'm going to use on the hip side and I'm just really quickly smudging that right along my lower lash line. Then of course I need a little wide-eyed wonder to make that inner corner pop. I curled my lashes and added some of my Essence Lash Princess mascara, and that's my finished look. It's super shimmery, but it's still really approachable, and it's fun to switch up to some cool tones every now and then. In typical MAC fashion, these powders are really versatile. They can be used in a lot of different ways. Because MAC is very artistry based, their products tend to be very dynamic and able to be used in a lot of different ways. So I think that's the real strength of these super shimmery eyeshadows. I do find myself wishing that I had 1 or 2 true mattes in here just to use as like a crease transition shade. I wish that there was just 1 shade that was more of a medium tone. We have these 2 deeper shades. A lot of the other shades tend to be very pale, more on the pastel side, which that is what they're going for with this palette. But I do wish there was just 1 very medium toned matte in there for me to work into my eye look. With that being said, the satiny shades in this palette performed pretty well in the place of mattes for me. At the end of the day, this palette is just what it is. It's a very shimmery palette. If you like shimmery, you like glittery, then you are gonna like these shadows. And if you're not a shimmer glitter girl, then this definitely is not the palette for you. I'm definitely a shimmer girl, hence the pounds of shimmer I put on my eye today. And despite how much shimmer and glitter and metallic I used in my eye look today, I do think this comes off as very wearable, a very approachable look. It was very easy for me to do. I did have some little glitter particles fall out while I was creating my look. No big deal. I just used a fluffy tapered brush and wiped them away. I didn't need like a baking powder shield or anything like that. Just a quick swipe of the brush. When it comes to the face highlighter, I actually really loved the way that this looked on my cheeks. This highlight shade is definitely geared towards more fair skin. When you look at it in the pan in person, it does have a kind of purpley vibe to it, but when you apply it to the face, it looks like an icy silver. It's definitely cool toned, but I don't think it really looks purple on my face at all. I really love this bright pop of periwinkle lavender here. This would be beautiful all over the lid for a more intense, very springtime look. But if you just don't look at that shade, these are all super wearable, practically neutral shades. This is definitely a cool tone palette. If you've been wishing for cool tones, sick of all the orange palettes, this is your answer right here. Overall, I wish there was just 1 or 2 shades that were done differently in here. I'm missing a matte, I'm missing a medium tone, but I've really enjoyed using this palette. It's great for springtime looks. I've always been a really warm tone, neutral kind of girl, so I appreciate getting out of my box a little bit and trying something more cool toned. Love the packaging. I love the formula and how dynamic these powders are. All in all, I'd say this is a great spring hit for MAC. Now, I want to know your thoughts on this palette and all the newly released MAC Girls palettes. Do you think I need to review another one? Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. It is so cute. It's so cute. I love it. Look at the little cupcakes. Oh, man. Now I'm hungry for cupcakes. Previously, off to a great start. Really just killing it. All of these, no one will ever know what I'm doing with my life. Swatch it up. I'm kind of getting Becca Prismatic Amethyst vibes from this, but I actually like this one better. I like it. I'd wear that on my eyes too. Know that you are super weak when your arm gets tired holding it up for camera to show swatches. Don't judge me. I'm fine. Why can't I talk? Also, my nails match. Does that make anybody else really happy? Because I love it. They're pollicle. What? Great. The fair girls or boys, whoever, you can wear it. Just do whatever you want. I'm not here to touch you. Ooh, just in time. Look at that shimmer. Shimmer, shimmer. I'm about to do a lip swatch video, so I'm trying to nourish my lips. Let me just check my gram real quick. Am I always checking Instagram while I'm filming? Yeah. Actually, no, I'm just always checking Instagram. I don't know why you don't know that. Okay, bye. Bye.